The NFL draft is less than 48 hours away. We will be live on this channel. Myself and Spirit of Detroit podcast will be live for day one. We'll be getting on at 7 o'clock, and we have a reporter that is going to, a subscriber that is going to report to us from the location of Green Bay. But the draft trade talk is heating up, and we know about Jameson Williams. We discussed him earlier today. But Kayvon Thibodeaux is another one of those first-round picks drafted 5th overall, the same draft that Jameson Williams and Aiden Hutchinson were taken after. And with the New York Giants picking 3rd overall, and the fact that you can all but guarantee they are going to take Abdul Carter, it came out today that an inside source said that Abdul Carter is pretty much a lock when it comes to the New York Giants. Well, what would that mean for Kayvon Thibodeaux? Don't forget, Kayvon Thibodeaux was a guy that Brad Holmes actually went to go see one of the bowl games in person when we were, I think it was the 2021 season heading into 2022. He was at one of the bowl games for the Oregon Ducks. So we know that Brad Holmes had his eyes on Kayvon Thibodeaux, but with the can't-miss prospect like Aiden Hutchinson, you had to take him. Well, according to Bleacher Report, one NFL, they actually got some information from The Athletic, and here's what he had to say about the potential availability of Kayvon Thibodeaux. We're going to talk about this at least until the draft, but here's what that information says. It says one NFL executive told The Athletic's Jeff Howe that the Giants could trade edge rusher Kayvon Thibodeaux for a 3rd-round pick if they select Abdul Carter in this year's draft. New York has a looming decision on whether to exercise the 5th-year option for the 2022 5th-round pick, so the exec feels he could be a trade candidate if he's not in the team's long-term plans. And here's the beauty about the 5th-year option. If they picked it up, it doesn't matter. He could still be traded. What that would mean is that the next club is going to exercise that 5th-year option. But let me take you back to Jeff Okudah. As Jeff Okudah was going into his 3rd year or his 4th year, he was drafted in 2020. He played 2021, 2022, 2020, 2021, 2022. And then we actually decided to trade him away. And I want to say it was the Houston, no, was it the Houston? Whatever team it was for Jeff Okudah, they did not pick up his 5th-year option. He was traded before the deadline, and they did not pick it up. And then he wound up playing the year there, I think, and then he's on his 3rd or 4th team now. So a very similar situation. It could be that with Kayvon Thibodeaux, or I would assume that the new team would pick up a guy like Kayvon Thibodeaux. Kayvon Thibodeaux, what did he do in his career? The article continues. Thibodeaux has had a productive 3-year career for the Giants, but he hasn't yet reached the superstar level that was expected of him coming out of Oregon. After recording a career-high 11.5 sacks in 2023, he was limited to 12 games last season due to a wrist injury and finished with a career low of 28 total tackles while adding 5.5 sacks, 2 pass breakups, and 1 forced fumble. Now, I know what you guys are saying, but Brad Holmes is a wild card. One thing we know about Brad Holmes is that we don't know what he's going to do. And with the connection between him and Kayvon Thibodeaux and the fact that a lot of people thought we were going to take him over Aiden Hutchinson at 2nd overall in 2022, I would not put this past Brad Holmes. Now check this out. Stay with me here. All speculation, but imagine this. There's been the Jameson Williams trade speculation. We've even heard that the Lions could trade back from 28, maybe stay in that 1st round or go back in the 2nd round. We have a compensatory pick from Aaron Glenn, a 3rd-round pick that we would not have had, pick 102, had Aaron Glenn not taken that job, that head coaching job with the New York Giants. So hear me out here. What if Brad Holmes pulls something off where either A, there's a Jameson Williams trade. I know you guys don't want to talk about it, but we're going to be talking about it until it doesn't happen. And you gain extra capital. 2, you move back out of the 1st round or a little later, gain some extra capital. Don't forget that the compensation for the Detroit Lions trading up was a 3rd-round pick in 2024. We moved up from 28 to 24 to get Terrion Arnold. So let's say the Detroit Lions trade out of the first round, let's say, or they trade back from 20, I don't know, that means the Philadelphia Eagles will want to move up, or we move back with them, or we move back in the second round, and we get an additional third round pick from that. And with that third round pick or the compensatory pick, we trade for Kayvon Thibodeaux while keeping whatever pick, our early pick, and maybe gaining some capital as well. Not to mention the Jameson Williams potential trade. I know how we feel. You guys know how I feel about Kayvon Thibodeaux. To be real with you, I would not mind. Kayvon Thibodeaux and Hutch would not be a bad combination. The Detroit Lions know him better than any one of us. So I think they interviewed with him at the top 30, but even so, they know more than we do whether or not he is a fit for the team. We can have our opinion, like you guys know I do, about the pass rush, but would that be such a bad thing? Or if the Detroit Lions decide, stay with me here, they trade back, get an additional third round pick, they take an edge rusher, because remember, defensive tackle has also popped up on our radar. We take a edge rusher with that traded back pick. We trade for Kayvon Thibodeaux, but here's the twist in it. Remember Brad Holmes when he spoke about in his pre-draft presser about putting all that pressure on a rookie to perform, even if you draft a top-tier edge rusher. Kayvon Thibodeaux could take the pressure off that rookie. We don't know what we're going to do with Darius Smith yet. There's been a lot of push on social media and beyond to get him back, but we'll find out. I feel like if the Detroit Lions, like, this is one of the things that gets you excited about the draft, because we don't know how it's going to play out. Every time it's a surprise. So what if if we traded for Kayvon Thibodeaux, we're not bringing back Zadarius Smith, but there is a possibility that Smith could return if it doesn't work in the way Brad Holmes wants it to. All right, so it's going to be I can't wait. I'm excited. It's been a long time. It's already been 3 months. As a matter of fact, the Detroit Lions signed Michael Neese today. I was going to make a video about it, but decided not to. And the boys return Jared Goff. It was voluntary workouts began today, April 22nd. And I think this is the first time that the fellas have been back in a football capacity. And it's been 94 days since they lost that divisional round matchup against the Washington Commanders. So I'm excited about that. Let me know your thoughts, though. But what would they get? How would this work out in the Detroit Lions' favor? Well, let's say that this trade does happen. The Detroit Lions decide after that to pick up Kayvon Thibodeaux's fifth-year option. He is actually due in 2025. Thibodeaux will earn a base salary of 1.1 and a roster bonus of 3, while carrying a cap hit of $9 million and a dead cap value of $9 million. So he's only going to get about $5 million. So you would have him $5 million, and then if they pick up his fifth-year option, he's going to get anywhere between 15 and 20 for that right there, unless the Detroit Lions were to do something like trade for him and then maybe extend him on a reasonable deal, something where they can take a little pressure off that fifth year, maybe 12 to 15 million. I don't know, but the draft is an exciting time. So let me know your thoughts. This is starting to get interesting because I think there's a lot of legs to both the Jameson Williams trade and the Kayvon Thibodeaux being traded, but it'll all play out in the NFL draft. If the New York Giants take Abdul Carter at 3, it all but is certain that Kayvon Thibodeaux is gone, because then you have Brian Burns, you have Abdul Carter, and then you'll be like, where does Kayvon Thibodeaux go, right? So they were saying that Shedeur Sanders is actually, his draft stock is falling. He's probably not going to be the pick at 3, confirmed by that insider, that Giants insider today. So if the Detroit Lions managed to somehow pull this off, whether they traded back, got an additional third-round pick, they traded for Kayvon Thibodeaux, they were able to take an edge, a rookie DT. I mean, I really wouldn't have any complaints then. I mean, because Kayvon Thibodeaux, regardless of whether or not he is the right fit for the Detroit Lions from a football type motor standpoint, I think he would be a bigger impact than anybody, in my honest opinion, that we have on the team not named Hutch. And that does include Marcus Davenport. That does include Mohammed and all the other depth guys that we have. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Don't forget, we will be on all 3 days of the NFL draft. We're getting on at 7 o'clock on Thursday. We'll be going into the end of round 1. Friday, we're back again. Round 2 and 3 starts at 7. We'll be on at 6, and we're going all day. And then Saturday, the longest day of all time, is nearly 8 hours long. Draft coverage starts, or the draft begins at 12, and we'll be on at 11 for about, I think last year we were on just under 8 hours. It was like 7 hours and 30-something minutes. We have a good time. We watch the NFL draft, and then after that, I have to go immediately into UDFAs. Yeah, it's going to be a long time, man, but it's an exciting time, especially with this, with football coming back and the fellas coming back in the buildings. We also have merchandise that hopefully, if everything goes well, we will be launching by July 1st. What I'm trying to do now is make a decision between, do I have a third party fill the orders where you pick which one you want, they print it on the spot, ship it to you there, or do I buy the capital? I buy the merchandise, all different sizes, which is going to cost me quite a pretty penny. And then I want to do that because I want to be able to ship it to you personally. I want to be able to bag it up. I want to be able to personalize everything. For me, this is more of a business, a fan-driven brand and business, and I'm excited about the future. And if I outsource, then that takes that away from me. But if I was to do it myself, that would give me great joy, man. I love, like I said in the previous video, I'm actually working on an autograph because more than one person is saying, hey, I would like you to. I've had about 4 people mention the word autograph and my name in the same sentence. It's humbling and mind-blowing and something I can't believe. All right, so, but if you got any ideas of what I could do, anybody that's run any type of t-shirt business or anything like that, email me. My email is in the description. I would appreciate that. If you have my information on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, which I don't really check that often, but Twitter I do, then DM me. Maybe we can chop it up because I would really like to get some information. All right. This channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. It's because of your support I get to do what I do. You could be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. See you Thursday for the NFL Draft live coverage. And as always, go Lions.